Rachel Zegler is a plague to every product she touches. She joins it, she ruins it, and then she leaves once she gets paid. And when it comes to the upcoming Snow White live action adaptation, it already seems like it's going to be a massive disaster, not just because of her, but because of the writers and the changes that they're making. But now we're finding out Disney allegedly made massive changes during the 2 years of reshoots in the wake of Zegler's PR disaster. I have a few things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, there is nothing regarding this movie that looks good, that makes me want to swipe my credit card and buy a ticket or support it in any way, shape, or form. And it seems that they are going to have a very hard time convincing Disney fans to go and watch this movie with all of the information we have available. But of course, it says most movies go through film production in months, not years. Disney's Snow White live action remake is not one of those most movies. Instead, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot's retelling of the German fairy tale has become a 2 year production fiasco. Now, originally, it was supposed to release in March 2024, and then they delayed it to March 2025, and there have been a lot of rumors circulating that they want to push it to summer and fall, or even fall of 2025, because they need that extra time. And we only just saw that they were going through reshoots because Gal shared on her social media that they were, and Rachel Zegler also confirmed it, but she said that the reshoots were over. She's basically waiting for the PR tour at this point, but I don't think that that is going to go well for them either. Honestly, I do not see a way that this movie is going to make money or be positively received with all of the changes we know they're making, with all of the statements that she has made. It just seems like it's going to be a massive disaster. It says to go through the entire story of how this film turned into a nightmare for Disney would be a very long read, like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. There has been plenty of incompetence, much bad luck, damaging leaks, and sassy stars who fail to understand the art of promotion. But we had more recently seen that there were reshoots. Gal had shared it to her social media, confirming it, and then, of course, we got all of the information from Rachel that that's a wrap on Snow White. She was so emotional and proud. She loves these people so much. But while she had previously called the prince a stalker and said that he was creepy, she's now changed her tune. It seems that they gave her a PR team to hopefully mitigate the damage that she's doing or has already done, and they really want to try their hardest in regards to making this movie successful, or at least trying to make their money back. At this point, we don't even know what the budget has ballooned to, simply because of so many reshoots and them changing around the visual effects and trying to alter this movie in a way that's going to get audiences in theaters and buying tickets. But now, however, a trusted source has reached out to that Park Place with new information, which they were allowed to print as long as they protected their identity, and they do specify that they have used this source in the past, but it is still a rumor, guys, so take it with a grain of salt. Though none of this really comes as a surprise if you've been following this saga. It says, according to the source, these reshoots have attempted the following. 1. Cleanup of the original vision to exclude dwarfs from the final product. Reshoots allegedly had occurred at this point to allow for new CGI dwarfs to be inserted into a large amount of the movie, and they are informed that this is not inexpensive and may have added an additional $30 million or more to the costs too. Another set of reshoots was then ordered as a result of extremely poor reception by focus groups who detested the character of Snow White, and they basically were trying to add in the younger version of her. We do know this movie is going to show a younger version of her played by a different actress, and then the older version, which is Rachel Zegler. So they're trying to basically soften her character by showing the way that she was in her youth and how she was just that, stereotypical, very soft, feminine princess, and then she grows up to be more rebellious. And then it says number 3, finally, a third set of reshoots has just wrapped, which we do know that is confirmed. And according to the source, they are a result of a movie that was still seen as incoherent and disjointed. Now, whenever I talk about these live action adaptations from Disney, I always specify that I used to be such a big fan of the Disney princesses and just all of their animated movies. The Disney Renaissance holds such a special place in my heart, and it is so sad to see so many of these amazing movies be taken and twist it around just so this company can try to make a few more bucks off of them. And yes, some of them have been extremely successful, like Aladdin, like Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. But at the same time, while those all did have really great parts, and overall, I think the picture was really solid, there are movies that they've made that have been less than perfect. Of course, The Little Mermaid faced a lot of backlash for the race swaps and changes to songs so that, they didn't portray evil characters being so bad, which is absurd. We, of course, had Mulan, which was a massive financial failure for them. People absolutely hated it. Of course, it came out during the lockdown, so there was, no going to the movie theaters. You had to buy it on Disney Plus. People were not happy with the pricing structure that they did. And then, of course, now we've got Snow White, which I do think is going to lose them money. We do not know what the budget is at this point in time, but according to rumors, it was sitting around 250 million. And then if we're adding 30 million or more to the costs, we are really getting up to the 300 range because we do not even have marketing out yet. So they have not even used the portion of their marketing budget yet. And it seems that there is nothing that they could do at this point in time to bring in fans like me, people who have previously loved the, Disney Renaissance movies and, of course, the, princesses, someone who, yes, has paid to go see several of the live action adaptations. There's no way you're going to get me in a theater and paying to watch this slop and financially supporting someone like Rachel Zegler. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. There's going to be so many people refusing to watch this product because it does not resemble what made these movies so special in the first place, the love stories being almost completely removed. We have a completely different Snow White character. We're getting rid of the dwarves. There really is nothing here that resembles the original film and the product that people fell in love with in the first place. Now, obviously, we've still got quite a lot of time before this movie releases, but again, I just don't think this is going to go over well for Disney, and I don't see a way at this point in time that they could save this film's reputation. They would have to completely scrap it, they would have had to have gotten rid of Rachel Zegler, and they would have had to make so many changes back to the original vision that there's no possible way they are making this into the movie that most people wanted and that most people expect when you say they're doing a Snow White live action adaptation. So, of course, it will be interesting to see over the next few months when the PR train starts what Rachel Zegler says, what Gal says, and what other people affiliated with this movie have to say. And if any other leaks end up releasing regarding this film, only time will tell. But it seems right now that they have made massive changes to this movie during the 2 years of reshoots because they were trying to make Rachel Zegler's character in this movie more likable, but it just has not worked out for them. But that's all that I had to discuss in this. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.